Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Shri Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. जय श्री राम संकीर्तन की जय, जय श्री राधा कृष्ण कन्हैया की जय, जय श्री जगत गुरु शिल प्रभुपाद की जय, निताय गौर प्रेमानंद। वीडियो रिकॉर्डिंग जो ऑनलाइन ये जरूरी है। वो बंद कर देना, वो बंद कर दिए, बंद कर दो वो चिटअप। जय जगन्नाथ, इज ऑडिबल? जय जगन्नाथ, जय जगन्नाथ। Please turn this side. Please turn. Yeah. So Jai Jagannath, Hare Krishna. So so we learned today. Last week we learned
section of breathing. I hope you remember. Sound is audible. वो ऑफ करना है. That is your talk. This is there. Any speakers are there? Very good. Thank you. This will go. Okay. Thank you. So we learned pranayam. Last week we did section of breathing. I hope you remember. We'll repeat that. And after section of breathing, I have mentioned you, there are three kinds of breathing first. First is section of breathing. There are four sections of breathing. Abdomen, thoracic, clavicle, and your open down. Next, then come yogic breathing. After yogic breathing, then will come Bhastrika, then will do Anulom Vilom. Right? Benefit after that, I'll tell you. Now both, first, just relax. Sit down, comfortable. The spinal is straight. Straight spinal. We can hold two mudra. It's called mudra. First, you can hold Gyan mudra. It's called Gyan mudra. Or else you can hold Pran mudra. All right? Gyan mudra help you for concentrations, mindfulness, meditation, and receiving the knowledge. Pran mudra help you for balancing, controlling anger and anxiety also for the pran mudra. So any of this you can hold. Gyan mudra or pran mudra. Spine is straight. First 5 breath. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Now relax. So when you do pranayam, we try to close your eyes. When you're receiving, when you're taking energy from nature, we try to close your eyes and try to receive. All right? So you can see now, you can come out from mudra, 10 abdominal breathing, 10 thoracic breathing, 10 clavicle breathing, 10 energy breathing. All right? Then when I say rub your palm, you can rub your palm and place your palm in your eyes. So close your eyes. Focus abdominal, soft, gentle, close your eyes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now shift your palm towards your chest, presses. Don't rub your palm, just shift on presses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now shift your palm towards your clavicle, beauty bone. 1. When you inhale, lift your shoulder up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Keep close your eyes and open your hands. 1, 2, use nose only. Nostril, inhale. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now rub your palm. Place your palm in your eyes. This is section of breathing. The next section of breathing, it comes hand movement. Both hands up, 10 count. You have to close your. There are two sections of in hand. One is up is inhale, down is exhale. This is one. After 10, this one. Here inhale, then exhale. Inhale, exhale. Then rub your palm. Okay. Both hands up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Second one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now rub your palm. Place your palm. See, this is what we did. For example, when you do any exercise, we do warm up. Before reading Bhagavad Gita, we will chant Om Jnanam Timandasya. The same like that. Before starting pranayam, this is warm up pranayam. Now we'll do Bhastrika pranayam. Two pranayam will do Bhastrika and Anulom Vilom. Bhastrika pranayam, we can keep your palm here. When you inhale, expand, exhale, in. Here you can see the gap. When you exhale, inhale, this is a measurement. Palms should be in measurement. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, like this. Okay? But you have to close your eyes. We'll do 20 count. This is straight spinal, soft close your eyes. 1, 2, inhale, exhale. 2, 3, slow. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Rub your palm. Place your palm in your eyes. So the questions come when you have to do early morning, empty stomach. If you miss evening, after 4 hours of meal, right? In a weather, summer you do less, winter you do more. How much you can do? At least 20 into 4 you can do, or 20 into 5 you can do in a winter, 20 into 3 you can do in summer. Alright? Now we'll do Anulom Vilom. Anulom Vilom, if you have any doubt you can ask. Right hand, always use right hand. 2 finger index finger, middle finger, ring finger, and your little finger and thumb. Place your right hand, index finger and middle finger in between about your eyebrow. Right nostril close. Inhale from the left nostril, 5 count. Alright? Then close both nostrils, 5 count. Then exhale from the right nostril, 5 count. After that, again inhale from the right nostril, 5 count. Close both nostrils, 5 count. Then left nostril, 5 count. We'll do 5 count. But close your eyes. Okay? 1. Close your right nostril. Inhale from the left nostril. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Close both nostrils. Exhale from the right nostril, 5 count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Close both nostrils. Inhale from the right nostril. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Close both nostrils. Exhale from the left nostril. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Close. Again, inhale from the left nostril. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Close both nostrils. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale right nostril. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale from the right nostril. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Close. Exhale left nostril. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale left nostril. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Close both nostrils. Exhale right nostril. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Relax. Rub your palm. Place your palm in your eyes. So, this 2 pranayama you can practice. 1 minute, how many breaths we do? In a 1 minute? If you do generally 1 minute, 15 breaths, your lifespan is 75 to 80 years. If we do 1 minute, 15 times, in a 1 hour, how many times? 900 times. In 24 hours, 21,600 breathing. Alright. So in this way, your lifetime is 75 to 80 years. But if you reduce breathing, then it will go more, and healthy breathing also. So that you can see that when people get aged and all, they start to forget and all, because the trauma, because our body, our bone marrow, right, our nerves, our molecules are facing so much trauma because we are taking so much tension in life. There are so many tragedies happening and all. Of course, bhakti give you a loss everything, right? But this is also God also given, right? To make us healthy. Patanjali Rishi Guru Goraknath, Lord Shiva, Swami Bhagwan Vishnu has given this is in, alright? Even Ramayana Lord Ram also learned Vasisht Yoga. In the Vasisht Yoga, Ram learned from the Vasisht Muni, the pranayama vidhi. So this you can practice, and when you practice pranayama, what happens? Our bone marrow, nerves, molecules, this will improve. So when this is improved, the love and compassion and kindness more increase. Because there are so much trauma in life from the childhood to adult, we face school, college, family, relations, that really the block is open, then receiving the divine knowledge is easy for us. Otherwise, it takes many time, many years to receiving the divine knowledge. Alright, this yoga, the asa pranayama will be help you cleaning. After cleaning, when the lecture, when you listen, then your vessel is cleaned so that receive properly. Alright, and you can implement in your life. Alright, so practice. This is how much time takes? 6 to 7 minutes on YouTube. So practice every day. Even you can, your family and friend also you can teach. Okay. Thank you very much. Now your class, Bhakti Yoga and Dhyan Yoga and Gyan Yoga will start. Thank you very much. Jai Jagannath. Radhe.
First floor, next time, Avinash. 5 minutes.
I'll do one thing. Implement this.
Very senior role in HP. Which is also a senior position in this company. Welcome for the third session.
Avinash. Here, Avinash.
Bhagavad Gita. No choice.
I forgot my water. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. So everybody can see the screen from here. So if you can see, you can come a little bit closer this time. So we have a lot of videos today to share. So maybe you can come a little bit closer. Hare Krishna. So let's now pray. We have now prepared our body. Now let's go deeper within to invoke the blessings of the Supreme Lord and his associates. So, mind completely focused in hearing the sound vibration of the Lord. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Namini. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirbishesha Sunyavadi Paschata Desatarini Vancha Kalpa Tarobhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Thank you once again for joining our Gita course, where we are trying to understand the eternal, universal, some practical principles that Lord has given us, through His lotus mouth, primarily to Arjuna. But our acharyas are saying that usually at home, whenever the daughter-in-law comes to the house, mother-in-law does not give the instruction directly to the daughter-in-law. Mother-in-law tells to the daughter, oh, don't you know that in our house we do this? Then the mother-in-law conveys that to indirectly to this daughter-in-law. Similarly, Lord Krishna, he presents this message to Arjuna, but the actual recipient is all of us. It is not that Arjuna was confused or Arjuna was really lost, but definitely Lord wanted to give that message through Arjuna. Now somebody says that this Bhagavad Gita is spoken just to incite Arjuna to fight. Is it true? Is it the only objective? Because whenever you want to ask somebody to fight, right? If somebody is not willing, then you really, remind him, what are the wrong things that has done to him or her, right? And he, like Arjuna and the Pandavas, they had gone through so much of, painful atrocities, right? They were thrown in this Laksagraha or fed poison to the Bhima or that, Draupadi, Vastraharan and so many things, right? Especially for a Kshatriya, if you just hear once again, your blood will boil. And if Arjuna would have just heard that, oh, do you remember that Draupadi Vastraharan? Just Draupadi, Arjuna would have really boiled and he would really jumped once again to the chariot, ready to the fight. But Krishna, not even once in Bhagavad Gita talked about what the wrong thing happened to Arjuna. Isn't it? He only spoke about what exactly is the dharma. What is the dharma? What is the identity? Right? Yes, I have come here to establish dharma and be an instrument. Nimitta matra bhavasabhya sachi. Right? And earlier, Arjuna had so many opinions about himself, what exactly his thoughts, concepts. But then he relinquished at the end and he said, Karisye Bachanam Tava. Oh Lord, yes, I was thinking you are my friend, just like any other person, but now you understand you are the Supreme Lord and I will do what you want me to do. Right? Yes, we are very grateful to Srila Prabhupada, the founder Acharya of our movement, who has given us this beautiful knowledge, and not only we can understand, but also we can apply it in our life. Yes, today we have a very interesting topic that everybody can relate to it, because some point of time, we really go through this process. But the theme for today's subject will be from the second chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. But before that, I would encourage maybe one or two points if anybody want to share from the last session that we had discussed. First session we talked about, right, like searching for happiness. Then second session we talked about the patch-up solution or perfect solution from the first chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. Anybody remembers? Any points? Especially from the second session, maybe one or two points, then we'll quickly proceed. For the anybody remembers we talked about, what we talked about? Yes, please. Be a servant leader. Wonderful. How Krishna, right? He has been introduced in the Bhagavad Gita as a servant leader, as a Bhakta Vatsala. Like, yes, everybody wants to be master, right? You ask, right? Why Lord wants to be introduced as a servant leader? Because then he wants to show everybody that there is so much pleasure in serving. There is so much pleasure, right, in really offering our love to the devotees of the Lord, to all the living entities, not to just enjoy, Madi. Thank you very much. We talked about also the 4 kinds of people who just want to take glories, but they don't serve. They just do 50-50, or they just want to serve. But there are 4th class of people who just serve, and in turn they really also glorify, right? Who are giving them the opportunity to serve, or to whom they are serving. So, thank you very much. What is your good name once again? Nikita, Ankita. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Any other thoughts from anyone? Yes, bro. Yes, we heard that the different signs of victory for the Pandavas. What are the signs of Pandavas? How Arjuna had the Kapidhvaja. Yes, in our case, we need to associate with the devotees of the Lord, like Hanuman, and so many beautiful acharyas, and how we need to associate with them. And then what are the other signs for victory of Pandavas? Lord Krishna himself is a Madhava, like it is being addressed, and the husband of the goddess Fortune. Like we said that, yes, between the couple, husband and wife, there should be divine couple, Lakshmi Narayan, Sitaram, Radha Krishna, right? And we said that, yes, in a bhavan, like we say in our house, this bhavan, that bhavan. Why you call that as a bhavan? Because in the beginning, there is a bha. Bha means Bhagavan. Because in that house, Lord Bhagavan is there. But if you take out the bha, that bhavan, what happens? In one, who are there? Animals. Now we understand, if you don't keep Lord in the center, if you don't keep Lord in the house, then there will be animals to fight. The animal propensities within us will come out. And it's very obvious. So it's really up to us how we keep really Lord in the center. Like, as that is the difference between Duryodhan and Arjuna, right? Duryodhan wanted the energy of the Lord only, apart from the Lord Krishna. But Arjuna, he wanted Krishna, because Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna, Yasyam Pakshe Janardana, right? Wherever there is a Lord Krishna, wherever there is Lord Janardhan, there is a bound to be victory. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. And also, another sign is that Divya Sankho, right? When Arjuna and Krishna, they blew the conch shells, right? It shattered the hearts of the Kauravas, right? But in the Bhagavad Gita, it doesn't talk about when the Kauravas blew the conch shells led by Bhisma. It didn't happen. Nothing happened to the Pandavas. Why? Because the transcendental sound vibration, which is really coming from the Lord and devotees, are so powerful, right? Because the conch shell that is really touching the lotus feet of the Lord, lotus lips of the Lord, and it has so much power. Now, similarly, the sound vibration of the Lord, which are not different than himself, right? We said that we should be surrounded, by the sound vibration of the holy name. That's how we can really make ourselves, available, right, for the pleasure of the Lord. And we can make ourselves also victorious, right? Not only the battle that we encounter every day, but also in our life. Thank you very much. Okay, so yes, bro.
Offered so many things,
Yes,
and it is but you are not wrong.
yes. Yes, Lord will give us so many toys. Mother will give so many toys to the children, right? But the true children, what they want? They want the love of the mother, right? Similarly, yes, Lord gives so many toys to us, but then a devotee really wants, the love of the Supreme Lord. This was discussed, and at the end, we also talked about, right, how Arjuna, right, feeling compassionate, for the relatives, how will I enjoy alone if everybody will die? And then, isn't it, if we kill, we'll commit sinful activities, and all these, our family traditions, they will get ruined. So now, right, so we talked about how we really bring this into our own life. Now we'll bring to second chapter of Bhagavad Gita. It is also mentioned as a summary of the second chapter. It is also brought up here, and we put it in this beautiful acronym that you can remember. It's called GITA. Gita. What is that Gita? Kind of 4 sections are there in the second chapter. First section, the first 10 verses really talks about, right, what is the mood of a disciple, right, and what is the mood of a leader. Like, why there is a need for all of us to take shelter of a guru, right, and who is God. Right? And the second aspect, right, yes, we all talk about our dharma, right. Last time in the first session we talked about the difference between animal and human being is the dharma. But what is dharma? Dharma is not just some ritual, some rules and regulations. Dharma is really the intrinsic property. Like dharma of the fire is to give heat and light. Dharma of the right water is to really flow and to transparent. Right? It really depends on the object. Similarly, right? Lord is telling us what is dharma, but before knowing dharma, we should know what is our identity. There exactly, Lord Krishna will talk about what is our true identity, in this section. How we are the soul and not the body, and in detail he gives various examples, various analogies for us to understand. And as we have been already talking about, yes, Lord is Purna Sachidananda Vigraha. He's all spiritual, but we are spiritual, but at the same time we are covered with these material bodies, right? So we have to take care of both the duties. We have to take care of the spiritual duty, and also you have to take care of the material duties. What are the material duties? I am a son, I am a brother, I am the father, I am an employee in an organization, that I am a friend. I have to take care of those responsibilities as well. Or I am also the part and parcel of the Lord. I am the soul. And how can I really connect with the Supreme Lord? So how both these duties has to go together, right? That's what Lord talks about in the third section of this chapter. And fourth, like what is the qualities, right? Once you really walk this path parallelly, what are those qualities that we can really ingrain ourselves, right? So that's all about it. So yes, right, Arjuna is really representing all of us, and how he is in a state of confusion. He's completely in stress. His heart is kind of shivering, and the body is shivering, and then his lips are kind of dry, right? His gandivo is falling down, right? And we can really understand all of us also go through this, suffering at different point of time. So first of all, what is suffering? What is suffering? What do you mean by suffering? Any thoughts? Physical and mental stress, very good. Uncomfortable positions, yes. Guilty feeling, yes. So maybe in one sentence, if you can just summarize what is suffering, we get what we don't want. Yes, we get what we don't want, and we don't get it what we want. Yes, we have some expectation that I want it, but we don't get it, and we have some expectation that I don't want, but we still get it. That really causes out the suffering, as you said, that the gap of that expectation, right? But what is the cause of those sufferings? You understand what is suffering? There's a gap, right, between the reality and what is the expectation that we have. But why we do suffer? Because the karma, our expectations, yes sir. Unacceptance, very good. Yes, we don't accept in ourselves, and we don't accept others. Well, you can raise your hand so that I can just. Yes sir. Pains of the surrounding. Ego, very good. Desires. Dukhalam, yes. We don't change. Yes. Improper planning. Lot of expectation from others. So our acharyas, they have summarized into these 4 categories. What are those? The beginning of our education, right? We can just remember this 4 right? We understand this is the 4 causes of the suffering, right? What is the first? Agyan, the ignorance. We identify ourselves with this body, mind, and senses. We don't know what is our identity. And then you said ahankar, that ego, that yes, I am the center of everything, and I am the center of the whole universe, and I am the center of whole expectation that whatever is have. And then somebody also talked about attachment. I want more and more and more and more. There is no end to it. And somebody also said, The comparison, we always compare with what others having, right? We get really envious of others, right? Yes, we'll go in detail into each of them, right? Before that, like as we saw that Arjuna, he had so many his thoughts. Now he is really approaching the Supreme Lord Krishna. He's saying in this verse 2.7. So I would request, like, yes, some of you having this Bhagavad Gita. Yes, you should have preferably your own copies. If you don't have, you can really get it from our book table. I would prefer, right, if you can have this. So in this verse 2.7, very beautifully Lord is saying, Karpan, Arjuna is saying, right, he is surrendering to Lord Krishna. Karpanya doso pahato svabhavam prachami tvam dharma samudha cheta. He said, Karpan is, oh Lord, I'm completely confused. What should I do? I'm really taking shelter of yours, right? So whoever we are, whichever field we are working on, whichever field we want to learn, we need a guru, we need a spiritual master. Either you talk about yoga or kung fu or a cricket or a music, or if you want to run, or you want to, whatever you do, you need a guru. And how can we really expect that, okay, in this matter of spirituality, where we want to achieve the supreme love of Godhead, or we want to go back to the supreme abode, or want to kind of really transform ourselves, how can we do on our own? Yes, we need some gurus. And in this learning, right, the most difficult one, or the most impediment, right, the greatest impediment in our life is this three-word sentence. What is that? I know this. Oh, Bhagavad Gita, I know this. Oh, if you talk about especially in India, they say, right, like there are three things. You ask anybody, they will have an opinion about cricket, about Bollywood, about religion. They will have some opinion, right? Some hodgepodge, oh, I have heard this from this person, that person. They will bring up some opinions. But they do they know, right? I remember, in some of the sessions, somebody asked, can you tell about this? Can you tell about that? But what is the rationale, right, behind those questions as well, right? Because once you really come up with a glass full of water, can you really accept milk or nectar there? No, it's not possible, right? Like all these shastras, all the everything is really compared to a cow, like all these Vedas and Upanishads, right? And the devotees of the Lord, they are milking the cows, right? And then like a devotee or a practitioner devotee is really like a vessel, right? And once you are there, right? Yes, Acharyas, Srila Prabhupada and all the devotees, they are offering those nectar to us, but it's really up to us, how much we can really accept based on the depth of that vessel, based on the volume of that vessel, right? So it's really up to us how much submissive we are, right? This is the most important qualification of a practitioner. Prabhupada says that submissive oral reception is the first qualification to progress and in any path of, right, kind of success, right, in bhakti or in any part, right? What is that? Submissive oral reception, right? And now we talked about what is the quality of a disciple. Now, what is the quality of a guru or a master or a leader? What do you think? What exactly Krishna did, right, as a leader? How he wanted to showcase himself, what a leader should behave? In the first chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, right, Lord Krishna, he heard whatever Arjuna was saying. He didn't say anything in this first chapter. Did he say anything? No. After hearing all his opinion, all his thoughts, in the second chapter, then he started speaking, right? So what Lord wants to say, right? Pehle adhyay suniye. What is he saying? Please repeat. Pehle adhyay suniye. Everybody can follow Hindi? Okay. पहले अध्याय सुनिए, फिर 17 अध्याय सुनाइए और समझाइए. You understood? What Lord is trying to say is that first listen, learn from others. Like a child comes to a house after spending time at school and spending time with the friends. So, mommy, I really lost my pencil. Suddenly mother kind of starts giving yarn. Oh, I know that you always do this, you do that. Have you tried to understand what exactly I went through, right, while losing that pencil? Or kind of husband comes from the office and then spouse, say something else, without hearing, we give lot of, knowledge. Oh, or somebody, I had a headache. Oh, why didn't you take a paracetamol? Or why did you take a kind of any other, Compiflam or whatever the medicine? Wife knows that, if I have a headache, I have to take a medicine. But wife didn't tell, right? To take the medicine's name, what wife wanted? Just a hearing, right? The spouse wants to kind of, make the other partner hear what exactly he or she is going through, right? Or it could be manager or employee, or it could be customer or vendor, right? It could be same also in a spirituality circle as well, right? First, what our acharyas are saying that yes, the important qualification of a leader is to listen. And this is so beautiful principles, right? To have a healthy relationship, right? Horizontally and vertically. What is it? First, seek to understand and then to be understood. Yes, Bhagavad Gita is having all the management principles, right? That we can really apply it in our corporate, in our family life, in our social life, everywhere. Isn't it the so wonderful principles that we can learn? How many of you agree? Can you follow this? Is it possible? So simple principles, right? What is the qualification of a disciple? What is the qualification of a leader? Right? What else we can understand? Right? So now, as we are really moving ahead, right? In this second chapter, Lord Krishna, right? Because Arjuna has accepted now as the Supreme Lord, not as a friend anymore, right? And then in our Bhagavad Gita, in our this Mahabharata, he has been introduced not as a Krishna Uvacha, because earlier we heard that Dhritarashtra Uvacha, Sanjaya Uvacha, Arjuna Uvacha. But when Krishna speaks, what is mentioned? Bhagavan Uvacha. Why? Why? First of all, right, we should accept that there is a Bhagavan. So usually we don't ask this question because now when coming to Gita course, all of you believe in the Lord. How many of you believe in the Lord? There is a Bhagavan, Supreme Lord. Okay. Now the difficult question: why do you believe in God? Yes, please. Hope. Okay. Yes. He is eternal and we are permanent. Yes, very good. Yes, he connects, to all the souls to get happiness. Yes. Miracles. Yes. Yes, to keep reminding us that we are not so like, yes, please. He takes care of us, right? Like to find answer, right? Yes. Wow, wow. Sorry, I forgot your name. Tushar. Okay. Tushar. Yes. Thank you. Very good. Very good. Very good. We'll come back. Yes, please. Unique power. Yes. Wonderful. We are getting better and better with the answers now. Yes. 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 Wow. Thank you. Inner peace. Wonderful. 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 So, so today, we'll not only try to understand from the scriptures, whenever we go to some satsang programs, definitely we quote a lot of scriptural verses, right, scriptural references. But today, we'll spend some time even from the science, right, from the logical perspective, why there is some Supreme Lord is there, right? Because most of the time, once you talk about the God, they say that no, it is a blind faith, right? Why you want to just, just believe that? But then we say that if you want to say that, okay, you don't accept without any valid reason, we should not also reject without any valid reason. Right? So let's try to understand. Okay, now we'll have some quiz. Let's go back to our childhood days. Who invented telephone? Graham Bell. Who invented telescope? Galileo. Okay. Who invented steam engine? James Watt. Very good. All of you have very good memories. Who invented bulb? Edison. Excellent. Excellent. Now, $1,000,000 question. Who invented solar system? Huh? Who is that? Who is that person? Okay. Some might say that, oh, no, it has come by chance. It has come by chance. You know, especially, like, I don't know how many of you are mathematicians or statistics. Anybody has studied statistics? Like, people talk about, you know, by chance. By chance means, like, you have some history, right? Like, or like a lot of people now talk about machine learning and this models, right? What do they do? You really take some past data, and you really predict, okay, by chance, you know, like, or this is a probability that's going to happen, right? Chance is a probability, right? So some number of times it has happened, and now, like, is that okay? Based on the past observations, now there's a 50% or 20% or 10% probability that this is going to happen. But how many times this creation has happened? How many times all the scientists they have studied, right? Or we can say that, right? Like, there is a big bomb blast happens, and out of that bomb blast, can you really come up with a big skyscraper? Is it possible? Is it possible? Right? Like, or we can say, oh, there are so many letters are there. A monkey came and he wrote a kind of, you know, a book like Iliad or Odyssey. Is it possible? Right? Right? Like, if you want to and see this whole solar system, right? If you study, right? Like, if the Earth would have been really little closer or little far, and the whole species would have not existed, right? The kind of, you know, amount of oxygen that is there in the atmosphere, if you would have been more or less, you know, people would not have existed, right? Like, at a macro level, right? Now we can talk about it in micro level as well, right? There are some, you know, rules and regulations. There are some laws, right? Who is maintaining it? If you want to really, right, maintain the traffic, there are some traffic laws. But, you know, why? There are also so many laws are there. You know, somebody has really born, somebody is really growing up. He really, you know, maintains that body for some time, and then he dies. Can it happen that, you know, somebody really born young and then after that he becomes infant? Or can it happen that, oh, first, right, there is a change of the sun. Okay, sun said that I want to work from home today. I want to take rest. Can it happen like that? There's so many systems, rules and regulations. Like, people, right, they even check their, you know, clocks based on the movement of the solar, you know, system, based on the different nakshatras. That's why, you know, we all talk about this Panji and all, and how much precise it is, right? You know, they don't, you know, drive, or they don't kind of, you know, revolve just by chance. Does it happen? Huh? Okay, who is really driving it, right? And then, right, you talk about some chips, right, in a computer, in a mobile, right? It is so much detail, right? Or can you really understand that one of this molecule of vitamin B12, right? I think 2 scientists, they took, right, maybe decades to really synthesize that molecule, right? If it is really just a small molecule, if they want to take so much time, right? What kind of, you know, so perfect body, you know, the Lord has prepared. Not only this body, and there are so many other species are also there, right? Not only that, you see the nature. Can you increase the volume? So, once you talk about as a flower, right? There is a flower, somebody has painted it. It is a, okay. Somebody really paints a flower. You see a, right, just a shape, right? Okay, this is the color, this is the shape of the flower. And somebody, a craftsman, he really brings a flower to you, right? You see not only the, you know, shape, but also the form. But then, who has really brought up this beautiful flower? This is not only form and shape, but also fragrance and taste. Isn't it so beautiful flowers the Lord has given all over the world? Who has really designed now all those intricate flowers that we see all over the world? And let's see this beautiful video, right? At a macro perspective and micro perspective, who has designed everything, right? This is from at a macro level and micro level, we really understand, right, how we are insignificant, right, as compared to the vast cosmic that is there, right? we are just zooming out, right, from just one place, right, and now going up and up and up. Like, who has really designed, right, all of this so intricately? Right? So many solar systems, right, and these galaxies. Okay. So, like, we can really understand. Okay, there are some details. The micro levels also was there. Okay. So apart from that, right, that we can really see at a macro level, but also the micro level, you know, about the cell structure and about the cell synthesis and so on. There is a very, you know, one more interesting thing that we can see everywhere. You know, how many of you heard? You know, there is something called Fibonacci theorem. What is that? Some mathematicians here. What is that? Yes. You can see this kind of a set everywhere in your thumb, right, in the cells, in the waves, right? Can you just put on?
1200 AD, a man named Leonard Pisano, better known as Fibonacci, discovered a sequence of numbers that created a very interesting pattern. The sequence begins with the numbers 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, 34, and continues indefinitely. Each number is obtained by adding the last two digits together. A rectangle with a length and width of any two of the numbers of this sequence forms what is known as the golden rectangle, a perfect rectangle. A golden rectangle can be broken down into squares the size of the next Fibonacci numbers down and below. If we were to take a perfect or golden rectangle, break it down into smaller squares based on Fibonacci's sequence, and divide each with an arc, the patterns begin to take shape. We begin to see Fibonacci's spiral. The spiral in and of itself is insignificant. Its importance is revealed in where we find it. Take, for example, the sunflower. The display of its florets are in perfect spirals of 55, 34, and 21, the sequence of Fibonacci. The fruitlets of the pineapple create the same spiral based on the sequence. The pine cone does the same. As currents move through the ocean and the tide rolls onto the shore, the waves that bring in the tide curve into a spiral that can be mathematically diagrammed onto a plot at the points 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, 34, and 55. Buds on trees, sand dollars, starfish, petals on flowers, and especially the nautilus shell are formed with this exact same blueprint. With each segment of growth, the nautilus adds to itself one more value on Fibonacci's scale. This blueprint can be seen around us on a small scale every day, but the greatest example of all is directly above our heads. At an average of 100,000 light years across, even the spiral of the galaxies above us are formed with the exact design that the tiny shell is formed. This sequence or blueprint appears to be the trademark of a designer, a proof of a creator, something left behind indicating the one who was there, a fingerprint. As we scan our universe from the tiny flower to the awe-inspiring galaxy, we see the fingerprint
Any questions,
of
comments
God.
on this beautiful video that you saw? Isn't it? Yes. What is amazing about it? Yeah. Yes, yes. Nothing has come by chance, right? That yes, you know, an ignorant person might say that, oh, like this robot is working on its own, or this kind of, you know, car is, you know, this motor car is working on its own. But somebody has designed it, and it cannot come by chance, right? And that's why it says that, yes, some people might ask, oh, have you seen God? Can you show me God? Right? Yes, like, isn't it like asking that, can you show me Modi? If you want to really show me Modi right now in front of me, then only I can believe. If you don't show me, right, I don't believe. I saw that you have some, you want to some role plays? Okay. You want to speak up with it? Okay, so like I met her, just before Janmashtami here in this place. She's Manaswi, and she was talking about one incident, right, recently, that she had an interaction, right, with her friend. What was that? Like the two friends, they came together, and what happened? Right, one friend started asking, "Do you know what? I have studied that two molecules of hydrogen and one oxygen forms water." They said, no, I don't believe it. How two gases forms liquid? It's not possible. No, it's possible, right? You have to follow proper rules and regulations and process and procedures, right? Let's go to the laboratory and I will show you, right? No, I don't want to follow your, your rituals that you want to show it to me, right? I quit. No, right? You come and I'll show you in this microscope, right? So that you can really believe. Right? No, I don't want to follow your way, right? In understanding, right, how these two gases form the liquid. The other day, the person who wanted to show, right, and who was really objecting, now he's saying that, do you know that Lord is there? Right? But for that, you need to follow some rules and regulations, some process and procedures. This person said, no, I don't take it. Why? Because this is all blind faith. I don't want to go to that experiment, right? Right, like,
12.
For everything, right? We want to know something, right? We want to really measure something, right? We use a vernier caliper, right? In chemistry, right? We use some like methods, right? We mix kind of two chemicals and we really form something. Right? In biology, we use a microscope, right? And for spiritual science, we also use our senses, our eyes, ears to understand. Can we use the same tools that we use for physics and chemistry and biology for our spiritual science also? Can we use it? Yes. For each and everything, we have to follow a specific procedure to really understand. I cannot really, see a microbe or bacteria, right, or a virus by using a vernier caliper or by just kind of mixing two, liquids. For each and everything, that we have to follow a proper procedure, right? That's what kind of a Lord is trying to say here, right? And yes, in some cases, we can really understand some of the things, right, from cause and effect, right? Like, okay, right, somebody had pain in the stomach, right? There was some cause because you have taken something which is not supposed to take it. You have some disease, okay, maybe, you got infected somewhere. That's it. So similarly, the effect that we saw, the creation that we saw, right? The law and the order that we see it, right? The organization that we see it, the design that we see it everywhere, right? From that, we can understand there is a cause behind it, right? Yes, we might not be able to see the cause because we are not qualified at this point of time. One person, right, one time, right, he said, oh, Guruji, can you show me God? Like, yes, sir, yes, I want to show you God. But first of all, you should be qualified. No, I feel I'm qualified to see the God. Okay, I'll just give you one experiment. What do? I'll give you this experiment. You just follow it as it is. What is that experiment? Don't, for the next 7 days, don't even think of a red monkey in your mind. What you have to do? Don't think of a red monkey in your mind. And once you do it, at the end of the 7 days, I will show you the God. And then he went and he was trying and trying. What was coming? Red monkey. Then okay. Then he said, no, Guruji, I could not do it. Okay, now do one thing. Now just sit for 1 hour and just see this red monkey without thinking anything else. Was it possible for him? Right? So we are talking about that we want to see the Supreme Lord who has really designed this whole universe so intricate and so macro and micro way. But what is our qualification? What is our qualification in doing it? Right? We ask so many deeper questions, right? So many questions, but we really don't understand even the ABCD. Right? That's what kind of provokes us, right, to go deeper, try to understand. and try to follow the spiritual science also in a systematic way. Right? Not just go through some preconception just by hearing, from here and there, and I know everything. Right? So as we go further, right? Somebody still might ask that if you say that there is a Lord, then why there is suffering? God is supposed to be, right, all loving. God is supposed to be all loving. That you say, Saurva Sarva Bhutanam Gyattvamam Santim Ruchati. Lord is saying that. But then why is suffering? Does he really want to see the suffering everywhere? Why then there is suffering everywhere? Okay. Because of our choice. Who said that? Okay. Who else? Because you want to teach us. Make a balance. Yes, yes, very good. Yes, 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 very good. Now, one of my friends, he was just giving this beautiful example. One time, one person, he went to a barber shop, right? And he kind of, like especially the barbers, they want to really tell a lot of stories while kind of, they really keep their customers engaged, right? And then he was saying, there's a lot of buzz around, believe in the God and this and that, but do you know, bro, I don't really believe all this stuff, right? And then kind of this person who was just listening, and then, and then he really came out, right? He paid his money, and then he came out of that shop, and then, he was just walking by. And then he saw that there was a person with full of beard and the long hairs, right? And then he went to the barber shop. What he said? There is not a single barber in the city. The barber said, don't you, right? Remember this, I really cut your right hair, right? And I just, I'm here, right? To cut, and I'm here to save. Why do you say that there are no barbers? You see, there are so many people who are with so much beard and so much hairs. You're able to follow? Right? Yes, right? And some of you said that we are keeping ourselves closed, right? And in the darkness, we are keeping ourselves, right? Somebody says that, can you show me the sun? No, but I want to keep my 1 rupees coin, or nowadays nobody understands 1 rupees coin or 5 rupees coin, right? Close to my eyes. Can you show me God? Can you show me sun? Is it possible? Right? This is my thoughts. This is my opinions. I keep that 5 rupees coin closed. No. You want me to open my eyes? So does it mean that you want to take my 5 rupees away? Like people say that, right? You want to leave me something, you want to leave that, then only you can see it. You are asking me to take this 5 rupees away so that you want to take it and you want to cheat me, right? Yes, we're not asking to kind of, go for a blind faith, right? Yes, there are so many charlatans are there. There are so many bogus gurus are there, right? Srila Prabhupada used to say this one thing. If you want to get cheated, you'll get a cheater, right? Because we want some shortcut in the life, right? We want some shortcut in the life, and that's why we kind of, we want some, just a quick solution, and there is no shortcut anywhere, right? In any part of the life, there is no shortcut. You have to pay the price, right? Only, whatever cheap, right? You get some trailer sometimes, right? Or sometimes you go to the malls, right? They give you, for testing, they give you a little bit, right? Can they really give you so much? No, but for that you have to pay the price for it. Right? Similarly, right? We get also bits and pieces of spirituality here and there. But if you really truly understand and feel that bliss of spirituality, you have to pay the price. But most of the times, no, it's too costly for me, right? I'm so attached to this 5 rupees coin that I just want to keep it closer to my sun, closer to my eyes. But at the same time, I want to see the sun, right? Yes, right? But as we understand and come in association with the Lord and His devotees, right? We really understand that how there is a Supreme Lord. He is a Supreme Controller. He is an enjoyer and His owner. He is a true CEO. Right? Is a controller, enjoyer, and owner. And not only that, right? He is having all the 6 opulences, all strength, fame, wealth, knowledge, beauty, and renunciation. Right? And now we understand the Lord. And now as we proceed further, right? In this next section, we are talking about the identity, right? We understood a little bit, like especially in the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Srila Prabhupada says that, at least theoretically, now we have some understanding that there is some Supreme Lord, He is working, He is a controller, enjoyer, owner. And then, right, we'll, as we go further, by realizing it, we'll get more and more faith about it. But at least we got some understanding. But now we understand God a little bit. There is a Supreme Lord. Then who are we? Who am I? Who am I? I'm an Indian. I'm a mother. Who else? What is my identity? What is my identity? Somebody was saying that, oh, like did a big research. A 60 kg of person, it has that person is having maybe 5 kg of calcium, 3 kg of phosphorus, another couple of kgs of right this and that, and calculated that the cost of all the chemicals turned out to be 110 rupees. So there's a Professor Hansen, right? He kind of did that research. That's the people do a lot of research nowadays, right? So, but if there is an accident, right? A person was really driving maybe a 30 lakhs of Benz, right? Would you really save a person or that 30 lakhs of Benz, right? Which one you will first take care? Yes, person. Yes, right? Especially in our spirituality as well, right? Like most of the times, right? We try to tell some stories so that we can really, understand a little deeper subject. Because we tell stories to our kids while they are small, so that they can sleep nicely, right? In the night, granny story, grandma stories, But especially in the spirituality, we tell stories to elders so that they can wake up. Jeev jago, Dora chando bole. Our Acharya is saying that we are telling so many stories so that we wake up. Okay, now we'll tell you a story. So there used to be a farmer, right? And he had a lot of hens, breeding, right, lot of chicks, right? And then suddenly he found that amongst the eggs that were there, there was one egg which was a little different, and then as compared to the other eggs that he had. Somehow or other, there was an eagle was flying and is really kind of fell on those group of eggs. And then this mother hen, out of the motherly love, not only try to hatch her own eggs, but also she gave that special attention to this little different egg also. And these normal eggs, they really hatched over a period of time, and he realized that this different eggs taking more time, and she gave more and more and more love and more warmth, right? After a certain point of time, yes, that egg also hatched, right? So it is a different one. And then, as like other, small chicks, this different one also was going everywhere, doing tick, 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 trying to find all these, insects or kind of paddies, try to kind of put the food. But then kind of as those are growing up, right? Like the farmer saw that this is a different, this is not a chick, right? But he has really lost, he's really thinking himself as a chick. And he's doing what? Tick, 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 just trying to find some insects and trying to find small paddies. And then, but that farmer was really intelligent one. Really intelligent one. He took that, big, special chick. He took that eaglet, put it really on a branch of a tree, and then soared. Right? Do you know you really don't belong to this? You really belong to the sky. You are meant to fly. Right? And then he gave a good pep talk and kind of left that eaglet. What happened? The eaglet fell down. Once again tried. And after that, he said that, you see, they are like the eagles, they are flying, they are your kind of relatives. You are from them. And then once he got that sufficient strength, then he started flying. What is the lessons we learn? Right? We discussed on the first day. Right? Are you also like those animals who are doing 4 things? What are those 4 things? Yes, that is everybody is doing it. If we continue to do that, right, we are not different than animals, right? Our Acharya is saying that you are meant for a higher purpose. You are meant to fly, right? That's the process of self-realization. That's when our Acharya is saying this is science. This is not a blind faith, right? What is a blind faith? Blind faith means like, okay, right? Whoever wears like now white apron with a kind of a stethoscope, he's a doctor, right? And then somebody really kind of wore that white apron and with a stethoscope, and somebody cheated and looted and did some scandal, and oh, now all the doctors are really the looters and cheaters. Can you say that? And he will not go to any doctor. Is it possible? Is there kind of the same thought? No. It is my responsibility to do a kind of lot of research that he is a bona fide or not. Right? It's not that everybody kind of wears some tilak and some kind of beard and then he's a kind of a sadhu. He can really give Atma Gyan to us. Right? We have to really understand what is his qualification. What is his identity. Right? But then, yes, there are cheaters because you want some shortcut. But if you want to really pay the price, right, you have to understand, you have to study the scriptures, right? And then we'll really understand what is our identity. And once we understand our identity, then how we can raise our potential to that identity, right? How we are not meant to just get lost, just kind of, jio, khao, piyo, so, or, chale jao, right? Just live your world. No, we are meant for a higher purpose, right? So what is that higher purpose, right? And how do you really understand this? Let's go a little deeper in, right? How we are different, right? What is my identity? What is my identity? Am I just a bag of flesh and bones, or am I something superior? What do you say? If somebody is really, unfortunately, leaving his body, right? You see that, like that relative is just lying on this floor. Somebody says, he has left. Wo chale gaye. Wo bayo gayo. Or like over waddaro. Like you many different languages, you might say so many different things. Right? But that person is still there. Why do you say that he has left? Who has left? So now, right, we ask this question. Okay, if you can come, she is very active. She is one of the very active student of us. Right? You can come down here. Please stand up. Now show me your hand. Show me your leg. Your eyes. Show me your mind. Okay, because somebody says that mind is in the brain, right? Because once something you want to remember something, you want to scratch your head. But if the mind is in the head, then the mind, right? If somebody is really lost, right? Or you really break up with somebody, then you say brain dead, or you say heartbroken. You say heartbroken. So yes, like our mind, yes, it is there in the like in the software and hardware, right? Software, is it in the RAM or is it in CPU, or it is in the it's a subtle thing, right? It doesn't really kind of in some specific hardware, it is just attached to it. Right? It's a very subtle thing. We cannot really understand. Okay, but continuing. What is your nose? What is your ears? Oh, very good, student. Now show me yourself. You said this is my hand, this is my nose, this is my ears, and show me yourself. Like, you see that? Now we say that this is my body. Or do you see that? We say this is my body. Please take this. You say this is our body, this is my body. But always, right, we identify ourselves with this body. But we don't understand who am I, right? So we can really try to understand, right, from the logical perspective. Now we'll understand some scientific perspective, right? And also we'll try to understand from the scientific perspective. Okay, right? How we are different. Just like how there is a, like Srila Prabhupada gives a very beautiful example. There is a difference between this carrot and this cage and parrot, right? Right? How we cannot just keep this parrot alive by just painting the cage. Is it possible? Right? Most of the times, what do? We bring a cage and a parrot and we just paint the cage only. Most of the times, what do? We identify ourselves with the body and we just continue to feed. Oh, right, let's eat, or we want to take care of all our senses. But at any point of time, have we thought of feeding our soul? Because today we understand that there is a soul. We are the soul. Are we feeding the soul? And isn't it natural that if you don't take care of the parrot in that case, the parrot will It will get malnourished. And that's where the root cause of the suffering. Because we are not taking care of this parrot in that case. Right? That's why there's stress. That's why kind of the vacuum is within. Right? How we really understand that our life is not meant to just paint. Right? Our life is not meant, right, to put the fuel in the car, but to take care of the driver also. Right? Yes, we have to feed the driver. Not only it is enough, right, to put the enough fuel before kind of going ahead for a tour. Right? Okay, now let's try to understand some more videos, because today we will show you some beautiful videos. Okay, these are real life videos. Okay. Okay.
They have the same name and boyish good looks. James M. Houston, raised in the Midwest. James M. Leininger, a young boy from the Bayou.
Whoa! There's something in the eyes. It's undeniable.
That's not all they share.
Somehow James Houston's spirit has affected my son, either through reincarnation. I don't know how it happened.
I can beat the Japanese easy as pie.
Initially, what caught my attention was James's extreme fascination with airplanes.
And every night he slept with his G.I. Joe action figures, which he named.
I took him to the Kavanaugh Flight Museum.
Here's home video. While the other kids casually look at the plane, 2-year-old James seems to inspect it.
Let's watch it
Watch
again.
as he checks the underbelly, then climbs inside, donning the headset. They have the same name and boyish good looks. James M. Houston, raised in the Midwest. James M. Leininger, a young boy from the Bayou.
Whoa! There's something in the eyes. It's undeniable.
That's not all they share.
Somehow James Houston's spirit has affected my son, either through reincarnation. I don't know how it happened.
I can beat the Japanese easy as pie.
Initially, what caught my attention was James's extreme fascination with airplanes.
And every night he slept with his G.I. Joe action figures, which he named.
I took him to the Kavanaugh Flight Museum.
Here's home video. While the other kids casually look at the plane, 2-year-old James seems to inspect it. Watch as he checks the underbelly, then climbs inside, donning the headset.
I said, "Oh, look, there's a bomb on the bottom." He said, "That's not a bomb, that's a drop tank."
Bouncing about in the cockpit, James was flying high. That night, their world would change forever.
He started having the nightmares, and that was my first indication that there was something wrong. It was a panic-stricken, terrorized screaming.
Over and over again, James had the same terrible nightmare, 4 to 5 times a week. He was too young to explain the dream, but he could draw.
Bombing ships, you see men parachuting. Here's another one where planes are dropping bombs.
He would just be crying. He'd say, "Airplane crashed on fire, little man can't get out." He laid on his back and kicked up at the ceiling, and he goes, "Mama, the little man's going like this." And he laid on his back and kicked his feet up. The little man's going, "Ooh, ooh, 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 can't get out." And I said, "Well, who's the little man, baby?" And he goes, "Me." I thought Bruce and I were just gonna faint.
They questioned, what kind of plane?
Corsair.
"Why did your airplane crash?"
My plane was shot down.
Who shot your plane?"
He looked at me like I was a idiot. He said,
"The Japanese." And I kept thinking, where's he getting this? I was a stay-at-home mom, so I know that there wasn't anything that he was being exposed to.
Not exposed to in this life, but perhaps, just maybe, somebody else was. Decades earlier, James Houston grew up with the same insatiable fascination with airplanes. He became a naval fighter pilot and fought in World War II. March 3rd, 1945, during a mission near Iwo Jima, he took a direct hit. At age 21, was declared missing and presumed dead.
"Where did he take off from a boat?"
"Do you remember the name of your boat?" He said, "Natoma."
found several thousand hits on the word Natoma.
The USS Natoma Bay launched into battle, headed for Iwo Jima in the fight for Lady Gulf.
It's the biggest naval battle in the history of the world.
Leo Pyatt served on the ship. From his home in Ohio, he organizes the Natoma Bay reunions. That's how Bruce found him.
I wanted to disprove it.
He asked a few questions about, did I know some of the people? Oh yeah, I remember those people. And, so he got very quiet.
It was all real. The people and places James described actually existed. And remember those G.I. Joe dolls that James named? Turns out, 3 men with the same names, first and last, served on the Natoma and were killed in action. James said they greeted him in heaven after his crash.
I'd always asked him, do you remember what your name was? And he always said James. But his name is James.
Yes, there was a Jim Houston, a rather large shell. Just hit him in the engine and it burst into flames and he went down.
They showed Leo the drawings.
He was right on the nose. I'm sure in my mind that he was there.
Leo invited James, now 3, to the reunion. James recognized several pilots, even called them by name.
You're Bob Greenwald. I'm serious.
He'd never met Bob Greenwald.
No, he'd never met him before.
Someone else was invited. James Houston's sister, Anne.
And he goes, it's not Anne, it's Annie. She wasn't my oldest sister. I had an older sister than that. And I said, you did? Who was that? And he goes, Ruth. I mean Ruth.
Annie is what they called me when I was little, knowing my name and my sister's name, things that my brother did when he was a kid. It's too amazing to describe how he would feel that way, but he does. He considers me his sister.
But does she consider James her brother?
I think it's probably a reincarnation of my brother.
Hare Krishna. Wasn't it interesting? What do you learn from this small video clip? Of course, so you might say that, oh, I have watched Om Santi Om, so many other movies. Right? But yes, we could have shown some movies, but we thought that, okay, we'll show something really, scientific coming from the Western world, because if we say, the pastime of our acharyas, Goswamis, the saints, how they talk about reincarnation or the soul, oh, this is age-old stuff we don't believe in. But then once you hear that yes, right? What he talked about, this from the World War, right? How that small boy, he was a pilot, how he was hit, and then he remembered each and everything, right? All the pilots, all the kind of his colleagues, all the seats, that was really hit. Wasn't really interesting. Still, we believe, we don't believe, right? I'll just show you one more before we.
In Germany,
just summarize today.
Christina's doctors are also losing their battle.
There is
Her
something
heart
called near-death
will not
experience.
restart.
Right?
She has just minutes before her brain too shuts down.
Or out-of-body experience.
Es wurden Defibrillationsschocks.
We were trying to jumpstart her heart with a defibrillator.
Zum Schlagen zu bringen. Gleichzeitig
we gave her several drugs.
Seite mehrere Medikamente. Der Patientin hatte zu viel Blut.
The patient had lost too much blood. Her organs weren't getting enough.
Wo kein Mensch und ich am wenigsten
We really didn't think we could save her.
sein können.
Because Christina's heart has stopped pumping, many would consider her dead. Yet something seems to be happening with her mind.
Das nächste, was ich wieder weiß, ist, dass ich wohl unter der Decke.
Next thing I know, I was hovering underneath the ceiling of the room. I could see down on myself laying on the operating table. And I saw the surgeons and heard them talking to each other. The scenario was pretty hectic. I realized that this was about life or death.
To help understand near-death experiences, some researchers focus on the content of these episodes.
A common element that occurs early in near-death experiences is what's called an out-of-body experience. At that time, the person seems to be able to see and hear things going on, but up from the vantage point above their body.
Okay, You heard of this near-death experience, out-of-body experience? That patient was literally brain dead, right? Completely, that ECG was really straight line. But then she could remember what was happening, how they were kind of doing all the surgery and each and every detail of it. How she knew all about that, even though she was completely in coma. How was it possible? Because yes, it's not that this body is all in all, right? There is the soul, right? Yes, a lot of scientists, they have given a lot of real life examples about this reincarnations, right? About this out of body experience, right? It's really up to us to really open our heart, open our mind, to really understand, and not only understand but realize ourselves that we are beyond this body, right? We are beyond this body of this eyes and ears and nose and tongues and the bellies, whatever we have, the hands and legs. There is the soul that is within, right? And we are the soul, right? And our Bhagavad Gita says that. Please repeat after me. Vasam si jirnani yatha vihaya navani grunhati naroparani तथा शरीराणि विहाय जीर्णानि अन्यानि संयाति नवानि देहि. Dear Lord Krishna, in the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, he's giving a very nice analogy that all of us can relate to it. What he's saying is this giving example of a cloth. Once our old cloth is really torn out, then we throw it out and we take a new cloth. Similarly, once the soul, right, is there in a body and that gets misused or not, it's reaches its life cycle, then it takes into a next body. So simple to understand. But how do you really have a faith in all of this? How do you really develop faith in all of this? That is the most difficult question. Yes, we heard logically, scientifically, scripturally, rationally, right? How there is a Supreme Lord, how you are the soul. But how do you develop faith in all of that? How do you develop faith? Yes? Yes, spiritual faith, how do you get it? How do you get that? Yes, there is a Lord and I can really trust Him. Yes, I have to feed the soul. Not only I have to take care of the body. Right? How do you really get that faith? Yeah? By following some practice? Yes? Yeah? By reading? Yes? Yes, yes. And I will give you a quick formula. Right? All of you want to develop faith? Yes. This is a 5-step formula that you can really follow. First thing is that hearing. Hear from the scriptures. Right? Hear, from the sages and saints who has given these true values of the life by hearing. Then we observe that all the saints, right, what exactly they live their life, sacrificing everything for the benefit of others. They're really able to connect to the Supreme Lord. We observe them. It's just not a kind of a theoretical process. It is a practical process. We can see that whoever has accepted this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, what exactly life they are living, right? And then it's not only we hear and observe, and that way we get faith. This third thing is the most important thing. Yes, we might talk about, oh, this bottle of honey is so delicious, so yummy, right? But then, can we just get the taste by hearing and by observing it? We get the true taste by licking it, by taking it, by opening the bottle, and you take it. Yes, we might talk a lot about this Supreme Lord, about the soul, and how you really get the bliss by connecting the soul to the super soul. But as long as we don't practice it, right, we don't develop the faith, right? Yes, we have to practice. That's the small basic step we are kind of saying how we can really, connect it to the Lord by reading the scriptures, by chanting this holy name of the Lord. That's where we connect to the Lord. And then we'll experience it. So sukham kartum abhyayam pratyaksha avagamam dharmam. This is a pratyaksha. We can experience ourselves. Right? You take the medicine, right? Oh, somebody has really got cured, we observe that, and now we take it, and then we practice it, and once you do it, the final things, as we see all the volunteers here, what they're doing, they're trying to share, right? Right? We just don't keep it to ourselves. What do? We try to share. Do you agree that we can really follow this? Huh? Yes or no? Yes. Yes. Now we'll go deeper, right, into this discussion. Like once we understand this concept, right, how it makes us fearlessness, how it really brings that fear appearance, and most important thing is that once you understand this thing, how we can continue to feed our soul. So we'll be discussing very much in detail, especially the next time. I will discuss more practical aspects of this section, right? We talked about the root cause of the suffering, but how do we surf through the suffering? How do we deal with the suffering? Right? We'll be discussing practically very much in detail in the next session. Right? This is our schedule. Some of you might have not heard it, right? So this is our third session, right? We have a very special session the weekend after that in the 9th of October, right? Beginning of this Deep Ocha, right? The Deep Mass is there. And then we have some special festival also in between. And then we are planning for a one-day retreat as well, right? All of you would like to join? Yes, because our process is singing, feasting, and dancing, right? We would really like to go for a one-day picnic nearby places, some really holy place, right? We'll go in the morning and come back by evening. And yes, all of you will really kind of get this certification from our center, right? But for that, yes, we do really need your good attendance, as you talked about in the first class. We need your commitment, we need your consistency, because it's not by bits and pieces we can really, as we have been discussing. We would really like to have your commitment. And also we have been sending a small quizzes, right? So it really helps us understand, are you able to follow it, or you kind of not, right? So it gives really as a feedback to us. So please do participate in this quizzes as well. So any questions or comments before we wrap up our today's sessions? Any questions, comments from anyone, whatever we discussed today, or any reflection, any thoughts that we got to know today? Like as you said, our process is Shravanam and Kirtanam. We hear and we share, we talk about it. What are the things you learned today? Or any questions, anything? It can be questions or comments, it can be anything. Anybody would like to share? Yes, you want? Yes? Who am I? Yes, who am I? Very good. What else? Yes. Yes, yes. This is the most important part, that when Lord started speaking, this is the first lesson he is giving. That Dehinosmin yatha dehe komaram yavanam jara. Like yes, the soul is really passing through this body from young to the old age. A sober person is not bewildered. Yes, and the science also says that every 7 years, all the cells of the body, is changed. All the cells of the body changed. The science says that. That's the internal reincarnation. The external reincarnation is that yes, not only the cells of the body it changes every 7 years, but at the end of the life, this body also changed, and it goes to another body. Right? Say yes. Wonderful. Any other thoughts, learning, questions, comments? Yes, very wonderful relationship principle that we also learned today. First try to understand, then try to be understood. First listen and learn, and then kind of you share your thoughts. Very good. And yeah. Yes, yes, right. Whatever we are, whatever we want to learn, right? We need some guidance. Even every author also needs an editor, right? Everybody, right, needs somebody who can really help us in really walking that right path. Thank you very much. So now, as we said, we'll go through this chapter section of the second chapter in the next session, and then we'll just go through the chanting of the holy name. As we say that yes, we have to feed the soul. Once we are talking about feeding the soul, yes, we have to connect to the Lord. Like as we said, really, Lord is there, right? But it's only up to us to really connect to Him, right? It's not just theoretical or some imaginary person, right? He is there. We can really connect with Him. And the most important process is the chanting of the holy name. Just like a person is sleeping, right? all of his senses are kind of inactive, but one sense is really active. What is that? Hearing. That's why if you want to wake up somebody, what do you use? Use alarm clock, right? Alarm. Then it's like ding, 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 ding. Then the person wakes up, right? Similarly, yes, our soul, right? Our, this consciousness is, it's dormant, and we want to really wake up that, we have to chant this holy name of the Lord, right? And now we'll be chanting this holy name of the Lord, and we'll take shelter of our acharyas who have given us this process. Okay. Yes, Broji, if you can just give 2 minutes demo how to chant.
Stuff you might know how to chant, because you've been doing for the past 2 weeks, but just for the sake of newcomers, we're going to read it again.
Let's go.
The next beat is called Krishna beat. You don't chant on that beat, we chant around it. Okay, so we don't use this finger, we use the thumb and the middle to hold the beats. We don't use this, next hold like this, we chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Rama Hare Rama, Rama Hare. Next one, go to the next beat, push it down, like that. On every beat we chant, and finally this side. Okay. Suppose you want to go continue the home second round. Okay. Once again, you don't come back here, start from where we finished, and then go to the reverse order. That's how we chant. Let's start today's chanting. We'll do it at today. Since we are running out of time,
Please lead.
Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya,
Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara, Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram. Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Thank you so much. Now, I'd like to invite our volunteers here. They are the ones who call and invite all of you. Just in case they want to see who they are, or their names, just try to invite such a given role. So, in case typically introduce ourselves while calling, so you can reach out to him to talk to him as well. It's part of your calling thing. And we have Chandan Prabhu. We have Srikati Prabhu here. And we have Madhurya Prabhu here. Vichitananda Prabhu here. Bhaskar Prabhu. Bhaskar Prabhu is there. Myself, Harishan Das. So, you can reach us. Some of us are here, and one of the speakers will offer the established people are not coming up. Some of them do not join. So, you can reach out to any of us in case you have any questions. Of course, you have to do the program as well during Krishna. So, thank you so much for receiving our calls. Thank you. And just to add, all of them are equally or more qualified. Just they have given me the opportunity to share, so that is their greatness. But all of them are really, really more qualified than ourselves who are sitting here. Right? Thank you very much. So we have a short 5-minute dancing paper. Okay, then we have just 5 minutes. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.